The title of my talk is about an experience that I had last weekend. And the experience of, anyway, the title of the talk is I could be jailed instead of this, which is kind of similar in principle to I could have the peace of God instead of this. And the story will reveal how it's all related and it really had a really profound impact on me this weekend. Okay, so I had to do a little bit of a story so you can understand what I was doing and why I was doing it and why I ended up where I ended up. Okay, so I've been having some chronic back pain for about a year, and I chose to do it a different way than what the doctors wanted me to do it. So I would go down to Mexico and buy a medication which is over the counter over there, and then I would bring it back up here to use it. And so I've been doing this for a little while, maybe for a year, maybe even a little bit over a year. And the medication is not an opiate. It's supposedly not anything you're going to get addicted to, but what it is it is a it's when I take it, I don't feel any effects as far as mental clarity, as far as the dopiness and all of that. And so I wanted to do it this ways, but doctors had another, I don't know, they wanted me to do something else with the opiates and everything, and I chose I didn't want to do that. So long story short, that's the reason this last Saturday I had ran out, and so it was time for me to make my run down to Mexico. The thing about it is that this stuff that I take just got reclassified into a class something or whatever, into something where it's illegal to bring it in. Okay, and that's something that I am aware of, but I still have been doing it many times and have never gotten caught, so I didn't think anything of it. So I go ahead and mosey my way down there, get up early, go down there and cross the border, go to my drugstore, and then come driving back. The usual route that I take was blocked off somehow, and so it turned me into a different lane that I was unaware of that I was going into. And the lane is called a sentient lane. And this lane is for people that buy, this is what I think it is, that it's where you buy some kind of pass or whatever to get through the line quicker. So I turned into here and then started going through, and then I knew that was not, I wasn't supposed to be there, but it was like, it was too late. And what state I am in California is where I'm at. And so anyways, as I get up to the border officer that's in the center lane, I told him, look, I'm in this lane. I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I turned in accidentally, blah blah blah, and trying to make me understand, like, that. Because what I had understood that you could be fined and all that stuff. Okay. So anyway, so he goes, you don't worry about it. Go through, and they're gonna have to. They'll give you a verbal warning, but part of the procedure is they have to search your whole car. And so I go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So at that point, I knew that I was going to be found out, and so I pull in. I try to explain to the officer, well, this, I got in the lane by mistake, and of course they found the drugs. And before, a little bit of backstory. When I was going down there, I was thinking, I don't like going down there and thinking I'm breaking the law. I don't like going down there and doing this and have to worry about getting stopped and what's going to happen to me and this whole thing goes through my mind every time I'm doing this. And I'm saying I'm sick and tired of doing this. I don't want to do this, and and I got to find a better way and all this stuff. So anyways, in my thinking, I'm thinking, well, as I'm turning in and they're throwing, taking my car apart and everything, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe this is exactly what I asked for, So anyway, so I get cuffed, and then they take me into this room. It's a big, large room where it has all these metal chairs, and I don't know. I hope any of you don't know what I'm talking about, because that means you've been there, So, so they take my wallet. They take everything except the clothes that I'm wearing, and so they cuff you on the leg, and then you sit there. And so as I'm cuffed and I'm sitting there, and other people are coming in, sitting there. But what's happening? These other people, they're getting booked. They're getting fingerprinted. They're getting their picture taken, and they're moving through. And I'm sitting here with a shackle and wondering what is going on. So this went on for over 3 hours, where I was just sitting there wondering what is going to happen. But during the 3 hours, there was a lot going on within myself. What was initially happening is that, okay, so am I going to jail? And then if I'm going to jail, I had time to text my friend Hal, who was here, as soon as I got in custody. Before I took my phone away, I told him, I'm in custody, that's it, and that's the only person that I knew that knew, okay? But no one else knew. Hal didn't know how to get a hold of anybody, and the reason I texted him was because he was here at my house with my dogs, and I didn't want anything happening to my dogs. First of all, I cared about them more than anything else, really. So, so during these 3 hours, the worry of what is going to happen if I am put in jail and for an amount of time, because this was a Saturday, earliest I could see a judge would be Monday. So then I don't show. So that means I don't show up at work. I was supposed, I usually call my mom up. And there's a whole bunch of things that happen, and then so I'm worrying about all these things, and then the thought starts arising. Okay, well, if that happens and you get thrown in jail, like you're not going to be able to, go to work. You're not going to be able to do this, and I had no idea of what a penalty is for bringing controlled substances into the United States. So the Eagle was like full-time worrying about all of these worldly things of what are going to happen to my life outside of here, in terms of you're going to get thrown in for 6 months. You're not going to have a place to live. You're not going to have a job. Your car payment's not going to get paid. They're going to take it away. What's going to happen to your dogs? I mean, the whole thing. the whole thing, and it was a very, very real, experience for me of terror, and it was an experience of being totally 100% powerless. It was an experience where the ego did not have any kind of answers for this, just pure fear. Because the ego, the way it functions, it functions as judgment. It functions as specialness. It functions in all those areas to keep me away from love. But all of the gifts that those ego, thought they could bring me in terms of projecting all of that stuff out there so I could have my specials and everything. There was, it couldn't offer me those gifts anymore. And the longer I was in there, the more I was realizing of all of these things that are coming up are the ego could not give me anything. It couldn't give me any peace. It didn't have answers for anything at all that I was going through. And so it was a moment for me that I had to make that choice and go with whatever I knew. What do I really believe? Do I really believe all of this that I'm studying? Do I really believe that there's an answer? Do I really believe that I can even bypass the fear and bypass everything that I am feeling at this point? And so, as the ego, as all the options that the ego had for me were all crossed off. So then I started going in and said, okay, what is the truth about me? What is the truth about me? And so I basically went into, okay, well, what is this jail? What can this jail really do to me? And I realized that here, that even if I'm in jail or I'm not, I still have everything that I need to live. Everything that God has given me is true here now in jail than any place else. Excuse me, folks, I'm going to close that door. The dog is barking. I'm sure you guys can hear it. Let's move into this new present. Special features of this house. You get to listen to this dog bark all the time. Okay, so got that closed up. So, and so I had to really, really move, really go inside, really meditate, and I had to find an anchor. I really had to find a space of peace, because I could not depend on the ego, because the ego would just panic. My ego would go crazy in a place, being locked up, whatever, because the ego identifies its strength, its personality, its value on what is outside of me, where I would identify myself with my job. I want to lose my job, my house, or that and all that. And so I'm still going through all that, and some that have been listening to me, like when they know I've been through that already one time already, where I lost everything. So this is kind of like familiar territory, but I was not a course student at the time when I went through all that terror, and so the terror was still there, because I did not have any kind of solution for that. There was no peace. But this time, because of my studies, I went into that place and realized, okay, in terms of who I really am, who I am spiritually, I'm still the same. If I'm in the joint or if I'm in wherever, I still have everything that I need. I still have everything as God created me. I still am as God created me. So there's nothing that could touch that truth. And I can have, in realizing that experience, I can determine how I'm going to experience every instant that, just like either in jail or out of jail. And so, but still, as an eagle is moving back and forth. Okay, so okay, I know that nothing's going to happen to me, even if it's physical or whatever. It's still still, I'm still as God created me. I am spirit. But then the thinking comes in, or the ego starts thinking, well, who are you going to meet? Who do you have to deal with? You're going to have to deal with like drug dealers and this and that or whatever, And so I came to the point in the meditation is that my function and my purpose are still the same. I still need to see my brother as myself. I still need to see my function as service. Everything that I am doing outside of the jail is I mean, it's going to be the same exact thing. I'm still going to hold everyone I see in high regard as the Christ, as pure awareness, and not to judge anyone by their beliefs, by their behavior, or why anyone's in there. It just came down to what I would call like the right use of imagination, because I can use the ego to imagine all kinds of stuff. But there is in Journey Beyond All Words, Beyond Words, in that book, he does a lot of that as far as the correct use of imagination. So I can't imagine what is true. I can keep stayed in my imagination as to what is true. So I did get to that point where I said, okay, I would not allow any kind of ego thoughts coming in, and however long I was going to stay in there, I just grounded myself in that purpose, that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Even if I am sitting in a cell or out playing golf or whatever, in the mind of God, nothing has changed. I still have everything I need. Nothing has changed as far as who I am in the mind of God. I'm still doing the same purpose with my brother wherever he is, in the golf course or in jail. The purpose is still to shine the light. So I would say probably the last hour of it was just that intense, going over it, and I can't really say that, okay, yeah, I'm fine, whatever happens, no big deal, But I was at a place where if I had to stay there, I knew that I was going to be okay, and I was going to turn it into God's will. I was going to turn it over to Holy Spirit, and Holy Spirit just direct this. However it winds up, Holy Spirit just just direct it, because I don't have anything else. I don't have an ego to consult. I have zero. I have nothing that the ego can offer me except fear, you know, and I can make that choice. So, and so back to the story. Okay, so after 3 hours of me sitting there wondering what is going to happen to me, I finally asked the guy, and I go, look at all these people are coming in and out, and I'm still here. What is going to happen to me? And so he goes, oh well, oh, we apologize about that. I'm sorry you're here for so long. You know, they're busy doing whatever they had to do or whatever, and we have to process your paperwork because we're going to give you a fine, and then we're going to let you go. So after I heard that, you know, the ego started trying to creep in, you know, like the tiny mad idea creeps in, you know, to say, oh, you know, no big deal. But I put a stop to that, because I realized what, for me, what had just happened was that I moved myself into a place of total surrender and of total I'm not sure if faith is the word I want to use, but a total commitment, total lack of the ego's temptations, the ego's judgments, and I mean the whole thing, you know. And that is something that I've been trying to do ever since I started the Course of Miracles. Is all the reading, all the practicing, everything that I do, the meditation, everything, is to take me out of that space of the ego control, and let me surrender to what I don't know, you know, to what I can't control, to, you know, to the arms of God, to the will of God, you know. And I realized that I was able to do that. You know, I made the choice to do that. And in that experience, it gave me to realize that I had the power and I had the capability to do it, because I just did it. You know, I just did it, and I had never been able to take myself into a place where it was that's such a strong commitment to the Holy Spirit, to the surrendering to God's will, and not letting ego thinking come in and influence me. To me, this was a very special gift that I had received all the way through, because it's something that I could not have done on my own. I never had that experience of being able to completely move the ego out of my awareness and keep it out, and to recognize it and not let it in, to have the mind so straight, so committed to moving into that surrender into God is I've never have had that experience before. And so I didn't want, and I don't want to ever forget that experience, because it was an experience that gave me the realization that I can do this work, and that I can but I can't do this course, and then I can't do it, that I can't choose. I I was not even in the consciousness that I could even choose it. I still did not know that I could choose such a thing of the way I chose how I was going to deal with the situation. I didn't even know, like many things that I experience while on this journey is, sometimes I think that I am aware to a certain degree, and then when I really get that awareness, I understand that I really wasn't. But the same thing here. I thought that I knew how to choose. I thought that I had the capability to choose. Even even to the point where I thought that I wanted this, and none of that was true, because this was really the real deal, as far as me making that wanting choice, that the ability to do it, and it was everything with all my heart. I did not. It gave me such a gift to know that I can take it to that level, and that's just one other step up, and maybe to another, but I realized what it could take. The thing is that why it's such a gift is because I couldn't do that for myself. It had to be the Holy Spirit, or that had to guide me to the wrong lane, and it is done as I believe. I didn't want to do it anymore, so the universe said, okay, here you go, make it happen right then and there. And then the same thing about just wanting to be I don't want to say enlightened, but in a greater awareness of what my purpose here is, to understand the greater love that I am. All of these things that were, I would have said, was a really bad experience, that I, really have had a really bad, day or experience or whatever. None of it was really true. It's nothing that I would want to consciously wish that would happen to me, but it was everything I wanted. I'm so thankful everything happened the way it did, because I really got blessed so much, so much because of this, And so let's see. I had got some notes here. Let's see. I really went through this really fast. Okay, yeah. When I did finally get home, I made sure that I didn't want to forget this, and I journaled, and I journaled, and I journaled, and to make sure that nothing, that I would ever minimize or ever forget this gift that was given to me. It was truly a miracle for me. And so, as the title of my talk, it serves me in two ways. The one way, I could be in jail instead of this, could serve to me when I am feeling challenged, or if I have grievances that I cannot get past, or the ego is just as too strong for me in one way or the other. I can say, okay, I can be in jail instead of this by bringing myself back in that jail holding area, and get back to that commitment, get back to that experience of of um, of being strong enough to know that, and give myself confidence, give myself strength to get back to or get out of victim judging mode. And then secondly, the way that that it can serve me is that I could be in jail instead of this is more like the opposite direction. If I am in a place of judgment with my brother, or dwelling in a place of specialness where I'm looking down on someone, or not being kind, not being loving, that I can be put into a position of powerlessness in a second, just like what happened to me. So it's a lesson for me not to take my specialness so for granted, to always be mindful of how I am looking at people, and if I'm judging or not, and to stay real, to stay loving, um, to be truly helpful, to be all of that, or things that I'm feeling so high and mighty about or so comfortable in can change in a minute, where none of that can be true. So that is what basically my talk is about tonight. Is just just a tremendous gift that I could never have willingly give. I could never willingly have given myself that gift in a conscious way, but I believe that I did give myself that gift. And when I'm saying that I gave myself that gift, it was the intelligence that I am that moved me into that place where I could have this experience of surrender, and the experience of that gave me that confidence and knowingness that I have a potential that I didn't even know that I had. That that my awareness definitely was not what it is. It was just a gift on all areas in my consciousness. It. I mean, I definitely have not stopped reflecting on it, and I reflect on it all the time, and I just like I don't ever want to forget that. To me, it was like, I would say it's like a major miracle for me on how everything worked out. And then here's another point to the whole, or I don't know, maybe moral of the story is that I am actively looking for a better way to do the pain management of the back. The way I was doing it worked for a while, but this whole back and forth and everything, uh, it just wasn't a thing that I really, in good conscience, should be doing. And then what I'm finding out now is, because it's been since Saturday, so we are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I still do not feel normal in terms of the clarity of mind and stamina, the body's stamina, everything, because I'm finding out that my body is still wanting those. I think there's an addiction quality to this medication that I was not aware of. Not that I really actively went and found out anything about it because it always worked for me. You know, it took care of the pain without me getting dopey or whatever. But now, since I'm not taking the medication anymore, I'm feeling the effects that um, that it you know that it's time to take these pills, you know, and I do not have any of them here. I just don't have them, you know. So I'm just treating it with, you know, some Aleve or whatever kind of over the counter stuff that I can find, and and it really isn't a fun thing because it's a deal where I can't sleep, you know, and so you can't sleep, you know, I myself, I don't have focus, and it is not a fun time, you know. The body is in that pain, but it is craving that fix of that, and so I realized that there was by this I realized that there is an addiction factor that was involved that I didn't realize and didn't even know, you know. So um, I need to find a better way. I need to find a better way. Okay, somebody's down to one Tylenol 3 most days, but wanting a better way. Challenging to hear Holy Spirit when he was screaming in pain. Yes. Yes. Have I tried cannabis? You know, I have had um, some friends here, and I don't want to mention them by names, but they're Course in Miracle students. But yeah, they do the cannabis thing and everything, but back in the day when I was doing it, it always made me very paranoid. very, very paranoid, and so it's not an option for me. But I'm reading here that it's cannabis oil. I mean, I don't understand um, how does the cannabis oil work? Um, and it doesn't get you high. How does that work? Do you drink it, or you smoke it still, or how does it work? You just rub it on the back. Wow, I did not even know that. Did not even know it. So it's just it's a topical thing. Well, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. That's something that I didn't know. Cancer patients are having great success. Wow, there are lots of versions that are very helpful. Okay. I'm glad that I shared this whole. I know Teddy can get it for me. I know that. I'm in California. We know both of you. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. I guess we can. I don't know how we can get the cream and other stuff legally. Wow. Holy smokes. Okay, well, I have got some homework to do. I know in California you can get like a medical something or whatever.